Hi, so welcome to our channel DVK Physics classes. Right, so today in this video we are going to see thermal expansion of gases. So in thermal expansion of gases we are going to see what are the gas laws and how to apply those gas laws to solve numericals, and what are the conceptual questions as well as the numeric type questions. Right, so if you take a gas, it consists of number of molecules, right? It can be atoms or molecules. Monoatomic gas consists of atoms, and if it is a di or polyatomic gas, it consists of molecules. So the state of a gas is specified by its pressure, volume and temperature, right? Like in mechanics, the state of a body is specified by its position, momentum, energy. So like that, here the state of a gas is specified by its pressure, volume and temperature. Now let us see what exactly the pressure means. So the pressure of a gas taken in a container, it's nothing but, so the force, when we take a gas in a container, those gas molecules will be randomly moving and they are hitting with the walls of the container. So when they hit the walls of container, gas molecules apply force on the walls, and that normal force applied by the gas molecules on unit area of the container is nothing but pressure of the gas. Okay, suppose if you take, this is the wall of container. Okay, so gas molecules will be hitting. Okay, gas molecules will be randomly hitting the walls of container. So that means what, whenever they hit, they apply force on container walls, and that normal force applied only on unit area. Pressure is nothing but normal force per unit area, na? That's what I am saying. It's the normal force applied by gas molecules on unit area of the walls of container, right? And remember, the pressure of a gas depends on the number of collisions made by the molecules on the container. It does not depend on the collisions made by the molecules with the neighboring molecules. It depends on number of collisions made on the walls of container, right? Next, what's the meaning of volume of a gas? So whenever we study a sample of a gas, we will be taking it in a container, right? So usually gas does not have any definite shape or size. So whatever container we take, its shape and size is taken by the gas also. So here volume of gas is nothing but volume of the container. Okay, if you take a gas in a sphere shaped vessel, then that sphere volume is equals to the volume of gas. What's the volume of sphere? 4/3 pi r cube. That's the volume of the gas. If you take the gas in a room, length into breadth into height is the volume of room, and that is also equals to volume of the gas, right? Similarly, if you take in a cylindrical vessel, so volume of cylinder pi r square h, and that is also equals to volume of the container. So simple thing is, volume of gas is nothing but volume of the container, right? So temperature means what? So temperature is a measure of heat content of a gas, or otherwise the internal kinetic energy measure is given by temperature, right? So these three parameters are specified for studying or for describing the state of a gas. Now let us see what are the units of these parameters and how to convert those parameters from one system to another system. Right, now let us see the units and their conversion factors of these three parameters that we use in our numerical solving. So pressure SI unit is given by Newton per meter square or pascals, right? And other units of pressure is atmospheres. So the relation between atmospheres and other units are given like this. So 1 atmospheric pressure is equals to 76 centimeters of mercury. Means what here? If you take a mercury barometer, in that mercury barometer, what is the height of that mercury column corresponding to atmospheric pressure? And that is equals to here 76 centimeters, and that is in terms of millimeters. We know 1 centimeter is 10 millimeter, therefore it is 760 millimeters of mercury. And the main conversion factor is atmospheres and the pascals. So 1 atmospheric pressure is equals to 1.013 into 10 power 5 Newton per meter square or pascals. So this is about the conversion factors of pressure. Now coming to volume. So volume is generally expressed in meter cube, right? But sometimes it might be given in liters also. So some 1 liter of gas is taken in a container like that. So then how to convert that units? So 1 ml of gas is equals to, here means occupies 1 centimeter cube of volume. So if you convert that centimeter cube to meter cube, then it becomes 1 ml of gas occupies 10 power minus 6 meter cube. Then 1000 ml volume is equals to 10 power minus 4 meter cube. Like as 100 ml is equals to 10 power minus 4 meter cube, and 1000 ml is equals to 1000 into 10 power minus 6 meter cube, right? So 1000 ml is nothing but 1 liter. Therefore 1 liter is equals to 10 power minus 3 meter cube. So this is the main conversion factor between liters and the meter cube. So 1 liter is equals to 10 power minus 3 meter cube. Next, coming to temperature. So 0 degrees, usually see the SI unit of temperature is Kelvin scale. So that means what? Usually in this thermal expansion or thermal properties of matter, most of the times we will be taking the absolute temperature. So all gas laws are applicable in absolute temperature scale. So we need to find out the SI temperature or Kelvin scale temperature. So a relation between centigrade and Kelvin temperature is given by this one. So 0 degree centigrade is exactly equals to 273.15 Kelvin, or in all our calculations we will be taking 273 Kelvins. Okay, then how to calculate that T degree centigrade in Kelvin? Simple. So whatever temperature is given in centigrade, add 273 to that. So T degree centigrade equals to T plus 273 Kelvins. Example, if you take 27 degrees centigrade, and that is equals to 27 plus 273, that is 300 Kelvins. So these are the important units and their conversion factors, which are very important for solving objective questions, right? Next, I will give you a few symbolic notation. Just take a snapshot, otherwise this. Right. So next I'll give you a symbolic representation of various parameters of a gas. So whenever I take gas in a container, so how many variables that I will be using in solving questions. So for a gas, this notation is very important, symbolic representation. So M represents here mass of one gas molecule, mass of one gas molecule. Next, capital N for total number of gas molecules, total number of gas molecules, and capital M is for total mass of gas, total mass of gas. And now what can be the relationship between these parameters here? So total mass can be written as total number of molecules into mass of one molecule, I can write, right? So this is one important relation between number of molecules and mass. Next one, if this one is for Avogadro number, okay, N suffix A will be for Avogadro number. So what is the value of Avogadro number? It is 6.023 into 10 power 23 per mole, right? It is per mole. Okay, so now another parameter is MW. So this MW can be atomic weight or molecular weight. If it is a monoatomic gas, then MW is for atomic weight. If it is a di or polyatomic gas, then MW gives the molecular weight. Okay, so it can be atomic mass or atomic weight or molecular weight. If it is a monoatomic gas, we call it as atomic weight. If it is a polyatomic gas, it is a molecular weight, right? So therefore, and again, what can be the relationship between this and this? So mass of 1 mole of gas is nothing but molecular weight. So therefore, molecular weight can be written as, so Avogadro number into mass of one molecule. Okay, so mass of one molecule into Avogadro number will give you the molecular weight or atomic weight. And the number of moles, so number of moles we denote it by this symbol mu, and this is for number of moles of gas. So how to calculate number of moles of a gas? It is total number of molecules divided by Avogadro number, because 1 mole contains these many molecules, then total number of molecules equals to number of moles into molecules of 1 mole, right? This is one formula. Or otherwise, and you just see here, mass of 1 mole gas is equals to molecular weight. So it is equals to total mass of gas divided by molecular weight of gas. So this is the expression for calculating the number of moles of a gas. So this is these are the very important symbolic representation. And another one is pressure, volume and temperature. Of course, already those things I have mentioned, but one more parameter is there, and that is density of gas. So how do you represent density of a gas? So density of a gas is equals to, we denote that by a symbol called rho, and that is equals to total mass of gas divided by total volume of the gas. Okay, so total mass of gas divided by volume occupied by the gas. Total volume occupied by the gas. So these are the symbolic representations we use in solving objective questions. Okay, and another parameter, so pressure, volume and temperature. So these are all the parameters of a gas, and we will be using these symbols frequently in solving questions, right? Right. So once we complete this representation, next we move on to gas laws. Very important. So gas laws. That means what here? Three parameters we have: pressure, volume and temperature of a gas. So out of these three parameters, if you keep one constant, then what is the relationship between the other two variables? So that is given by these Gauss laws, right? So first one is Boyle's law, second one is Charles constant pressure law, and second one is Charles constant volume law, right? So first let us see Boyle's law. So what is the statement here? At constant temperature, for a given mass of gas, volume is inversely proportional to temperature, right? So at constant temperature and at constant temperature, for a given mass of gas, so volume is inversely proportional to pressure of the gas. Okay, that means what? V is inversely proportional to P, or otherwise V is equals to some constant into 1 by pressure, or otherwise we can write PV is equals to constant. Suppose if I take that constant value as some K, okay, then this is the mathematical relation of Boyle's law, right? So remember here, T and mass of gas are constants. That means what here? Keeping the temperature and mass of gas constant, if you decrease the volume, then pressure increases, and if you increase the pressure, volume decreases. That means what? Pressure and volume, they adjust such that the product is always having fixed value. So that is the meaning of Boyle's law. So from this, when the gas is at an initial state, then the product of P1 V1 must be equals to K, and when it is taken to the final state, and then P2 V2 is also equals to K, as long as temperature and mass are constant. So from this, what can I write? P1 V1 is equals to P2 V2. So this is the relation between the initial pressure volume and final pressure volume according to Boyle's law, right? Now let us see how do you represent Boyle's law graphically. Okay, so take a screenshot. Right, so graphical representation of Boyle's law. Graphical representation of Boyle's law. So what is Boyle's law? So P is equals to some constant into 1 by V. So therefore, if you compare this with this equation, so if you take pressure on y-axis and this is constant slope and 1 by V on x-axis, that means what? If you take here x and this one is y, on y-axis I am taking pressure, on x-axis I am taking 1 by volume. So as it says y equals to mx, it's a straight line passing through origin. So here I have not drawn the axis or the line starting from origin, but it is written like this with a dotted line. Means what here? See, 1 by V value 0 means what? V is infinity. If V is infinity, then pressure is 0. That means what? If you take the gas in a container of infinite volume, then only pressure becomes 0. But usually it's practically we are not satisfying that condition. That means what? Always we are taking a gas in a fixed volume or a finite volume container only. So that's why the equation means the line starts from certain initial volume onwards. Anyway,